You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time to get into the papers. Let's see what the headlines are. I have before me here a plethora of papers and from across the country. Let's see what they are. And to do justice to this, I have my regulars in the studio. I have here Funke Treasure. Funke, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Great. And I have Oladeinde Ariyo as well. Oladeinde, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Same here.
All right. Let's begin with New Telegraph. New Telegraph newspaper says, tension as youths plan mega anniversary, Endsars and armored tanks, policemen deployed to Lekki Toll Plaza and police across Nigeria to join ranks. CP area commanders, DPO, squadron commanders on red alert. Okay. It's going to be a 1-year anniversary, and of course this month. All right, let's see. We'll certainly talk about this on the program. The Daily Times is next. We'll complete key projects before 2023. Buhari assures. Now approves 13.3 billion naira for takeoff of community policing initiative. All right, that's Daily Times. Community policing. News Nigeria Direct. News Direct is next. Ministerial Performance Review Retreat. Federal government approves 13 billion naira for community policing. Okay, that's the News Direct. Daily Trust is next. On a retreat, minister's sack looms as Buhari supervises appraisal. Warns cabinet members on mandate delivery. The president in race against time. Ex-permanent secretary is saying this. Okay. That's a lot of people have come out to say that some ministers should go. Some ministers should go, you know. But these are all comments. It's the prerogative of the president to evaluate and decide who goes and for what reason. Buhari lists achievements on the Nation newspaper. Buhari lists achievements. Government targets local production of weapons. 13.3 billion naira for community policing. That's the Nation newspaper. So many issues to talk about here, actually. All right. From there, let's go to First News. For on 2023, don't cause crisis between Tinubu or Shepardro. VP camp warns. Don't cause crisis between Tinubu or Shepardro. VP camp warns. Okay. From there, let's go to Blueprint. Shepardro say how Buhari's post-COVID-19 stimulus rescued economy. How Buhari's post-COVID-19 stimulus rescued economy. Okay, that's a Blueprint newspaper. The Guardian is next. The Guardian says federal government faces tough choices over likely naira devaluation. Africa Development Bank faults federal government's $35.5 billion debt toll and economic development module. We're making progress on infrastructure development, says Buhari. Naira weakens to 565 naira to $1. And CBN does not trust market mechanism, says Yusuf. Economists seek caution on devaluation. All right. Nigerian Tribune is next. Naira exchange rate artificially low. Shepardro is saying this, says CBN competing with MDAs on fiscal terms. Okay, that's the Nigerian Tribune. The Daily Sun is next. Shepardro recommends devaluation of naira, claims that exchange rate are artificially low. Nigeria must decisively tackle its debt challenges. Additional is saying this. That's Daily Sun. The Vanguard newspaper, naira devaluation. Experts kick as Shepardro seeks play of market forces. Okay, that's the Vanguard newspaper. Leadership newspaper says experts others oppose Shepardro on naira devaluation. Okay, that's Leadership. The Punch newspaper says states lament deductions, demand probe, subsidy rises to 8.2 billion naira daily. 8.2 billion naira daily. That's as for subsidy. All right. That's the Punch newspaper. From there, let's go to Business Day. Business leaders caution federal government over unproductive borrowing. Okay. Business leaders caution federal government over unproductive borrowing. That's a Business Day. From there, let's go to This Nigeria. Pandora Papers. That's the focus here. $18 billion stolen out of Nigeria yearly. Obi denies $500 million offshore account. Prosecute suspects. CSOs are advising on this. On Pandora Papers, $18 billion stolen out of Nigeria yearly. Every year, $18 billion is stolen from Nigeria. That's what the Pandora Papers are saying. If you take time to read those papers, well, everyone who has been allegedly accused have all denied whatever the thing is. National economy is we're looking at it. Nigeria wastes 2,350 megawatts of electricity daily to gas flaring. That's national economy. Daily Independent is the last one now. Safety concerns in aviation as skilled staff dump agencies. That's Daily Independent. Okay. Let's get into the discussion now. So many things to talk about. Okay. Well, let's start with it's October, so let's start with the Telegraph that talks about Endsars tension as youths plan mega anniversary. But already the police and security agents are on alert already. Let me start with you, Funke, on this one. It's going to be 1 year exactly, I think on the 20th or 20th.
That black night.
Exactly. So I wonder what you make of this. It's still the issue of show of force and all of things like that.
I don't see anything out of the ordinary if the youths who organize the hashtag Endsars decides to commemorate the anniversary. Recently, we heard that the IGP has reinstated the SARS police group. So we're back to where we started.
But he denied that anyway.
He denied.
There was a statement saying that there wasn't.
Having said that, it is 1 year after the federal government of this country did spiritedly, defended itself and absolved itself of blame in the aftermath of the developments of the Endsars. What have they done moving forward? So you begin to see the youths of the nation rose up to condemn the practice of a particular group of the police and how they were making life miserable for a lot of people. They have told you what they wanted. The Endsars spiraled out of control. Let's not go to how it's spiraled out of control. But what have you done as the person in leadership or as the people in leadership to make sure that the agitations of these youths have been, adequately addressed? A year after, you can't be deploying all kinds of things to prevent a mega rally, as the papers have reported. You don't expect them not to commemorate that historic rally by the youth of the nation. You don't expect that. And you cannot continue to criminalize freedom of expression and freedom to gather to say this is what we don't want in a democracy.
All right. In a democracy, protest, rallies, whatever the thing is, they're all legal. They're regular things. But it should be peaceful. But some people have said that this is an opportunity for government to try to see how they can engage with the youth and ensure that the youths understand what they are doing and government also understand what the youths are doing, like bringing them together. What do you say?
It's taking all of a year. And as far as I'm concerned, government has failed to have seized the moment. Initially, when the whole thing became riotous, denials here and there, the soldiers were not sent there, they didn't shoot, nobody died, and all of those stuff. Then committees or whatever were set up from states to states. In all the states, I don't think any of the committees concluded their sittings.
Except Lagos. Lagos is the only one that conspired with the committee.
Then what do we have now to look at and say, oh, these were what went wrong? Okay, these are the ways we are following, moving forward, including recommendations that were made. How many of those recommendations have been activated? If not for Endsars, most people didn't know how bad things had gone between SARS as a unit of the police and Nigerian youths. It was really, really bad. And let me tell you, if there was no Endsars, the evil will have continued even till today. When she said, we refer to the night as Black Night, the day the studio here was born was for me, the Black Day. I was nearing the gate, coming in for a program, calling the producer, and he said, Oga, please find your way. And by the time I go back to my house and tune into TVC, was up there. All I could see was some staff who came on Facebook, you know, to update us. And it pains, you know, that because for you and I, who knew the studios and who knew what were on ground, to have witnessed their being burnt down to ashes.
The destruction of that TVC studio.
Man. So for
me,
we are not exploiting democracy to its fullest and to our advantage as a people. Those in power should stop seeing themselves as owners of Nigeria or owners of power. No, we are all equal and joint stakeholders in Nigeria. Nobody is more Nigerian than me. They are supposed to be serving us. Now, not getting it over. So if they see it in that sense, perhaps things will have been a lot better than what we are facing now.
All right. Now, Funke, the police have, from the reports we got, police have deployed armored tanks to the Lekki Toll already. How will this prevent the mega anniversary, so to say, the way that Telegraph puts it here?
It's just perplexing how we keep.
Let me help you.
I can understand. I can understand where.
See, I said this. If you remember,
we lack the
I said
adjective
this.
to
Let
qualify.
me remind you when I said instead of deploying armored vehicles and all of that, if I were to have been in charge of things, I will ask them to arrange tents and chairs, bring bands, live bands, arrange drinks and food, create a podium where the youth can speak, invite TV, radio stations, even global platforms, let them speak. If that were to have been done, I promise you, there won't be need for all of these things. Why are we doing? See, they did this last year, it didn't work. Why are we doing things the same thing, the same way, and expecting a different result? If they go on this way again, people will still come on there. Why?
Do you know what? I don't even understand who the advisors
Exactly.
are. Why don't you take ownership of the narrative?
Exactly.
And do something to positively, just as Ariyo has said, engage the youth. Take ownership, take control of the narrative. Instead of rolling out armored tanks, roll out a public symposium or town hall meeting and engage the youth and address, go back to the demands, the 5-point demands, and speak to it, you know, with the youth.
Yeah.
It is so, it's much cheaper.
Okay. Now, it reminds one of the Aba Women riot of 1922.
Oh, where
we read about it.
No, the way you said it now, as if you were a leper.
We read about it. The Aba Women riot, the riot in Kano, you know, over taxes
in
Abeokuta, exactly. Exactly. You know, if you remember the burning of TVC, where billions of naira, that edifice there, this edifice inside was so much investment.
You shouldn't talk about it. We should talk about
we came
TVC.
when the first time we came back here, we took a walk to that place.
It's horrible.
We were almost in tears, knowing what was and what we saw facing us. This is no photograph now.
And
so much that we could not move an inch into the premises.
Everything was totally condemned. You can't salvage anything.
Besides this, a lot of some police stations were also burnt down. Government property, government.
I saw a video right in the Iwo Road, Ibadan, where policemen were not only killed, 2 of them were put on tires. Wooden items were put on their heads and tires, and they were set ablaze. And not only that, people were now sharing their burnt
images. Now let's talk about what Lagos lost talking about the TVC and the carnage that, you know, that the people witnessed, what about what Lagos lost? The numbers of mass transit buses that were burnt, the shops that were looted, the malls that were looted, the ATM points that were broken into, and all of that. And then the answer, the response 1 year after, by the government, from the government, is to roll out armored tanks. You are the one speaking in war terms now. Your body language to the people, to the youth, is that, look, we're not going to tolerate, we're not going to listen to you, we're going to maintain this antagonistic, you know, stance against you 1 year after. It is such a shame. This is not how to go about it. They should have taken control of the narrative to say, look, that's 1 year ago. Now, let's come to a table and let's talk about how we can move forward.
Changing the strategy and the narrative, like you said.
Look at what the media also went through during the Endsars, post-Endsars. It happened to channels as well. It happened to journalists. You know, posterity will judge all of us.
Imagine that on that day, the youths will get there and find canopy seats, I mean, caterers, drinks, and then put them to address. You think they will go and be making, be misbehaving? They will not.
I mean, this is
they
not
will
a
not.
communist
And then they will let them know that, look, we are here to protect you. Say anything you want to say, and let those who matter in government be there physically to take notes and listen to them. We should stop making it look like it is we against them. No,
yeah, you know,
we are on this. We should all be on the same page. With all those things, they go a long way to create divides between the people and the government. We don't need it. We voted them into power. Without us, they will not be there. A king that has no kingdom, excuse me, is not a king.
Yeah, we remember the Governor Sanwo-Olu at the time, you know, went, you know, joined the youth to address them. We saw the impact of how his presence doused the attention
at different times. And see if it will not make sense.
Okay.
Bring in the armored tanks and drones.
All right. From Endsars, let's get to the story on the front page of the Daily Trust, which talks about the ministerial retreat, where there's appraisal of different ministries, and he says ministers sack looms as Buhari supervises appraisal. Now the point there is, recall that a few months ago when about 3 minutes, you know, there was a very minor cabinet reshuffle, and about 2 ministers were told to leave. A lot of Nigerians were expecting that more of that was going to come on from their judgment or assessment of the fact that they were not feeling the impact of some ministries. This now, I wonder what you make of this.
I don't know how you will take it if I tell you that discussing this is a waste of quality time.
Why do you think so?
If you go out on the streets and ask the average Nigerians to mention 10 ministers, you will be shocked that they won't be able to mention 5. Why? There's been a lot of inertia around them. We don't know them. Forget that. I have more than sufficient media presence that demands my being very current. If you want to disgrace me now, ask me to mention 10 ministers.
No, don't worry, I won't disgrace you.
Please, so ask me the question.
No, I won't disgrace you.
So there is no better way to evaluate the situation other than that these are frontline media practitioners, right? Yet, because of inactivity and inertia, they don't know these people. We don't know them. People don't know them.
You know,
yeah, but the point there is it by knowing them by name?
When we say knowing, as in by their activity, we've not seen. We cannot see what they are doing.
Let me make one point. The last time we heard about any humanitarian intervention in Nigeria was during the lockdown. We've had conflicts in the northeast, we've had in the southeast. We haven't heard of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs intervening to say this number of children who have been displaced, who have been kidnapped, who have been restored to their families, have been visited by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, or have that ministry, and I'm not talking about the person, please, I am talking about the office. We haven't heard anything about any intervention any relief materials being taken to those spots in Nigeria.
They said they've spent billions of naira trying to
They
feed,
said we're all in the media. How? We've heard that they've been feeding the children on expired rice.
Okay, you are using our time, please. Let's move on.
That is alleged.
Let's move on.
Alleged. They haven't come out to
let's move on to something else, please. This is waiting.
All right, Oladeinde, before we move on, let me ask you before we move on.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you, amongst the ministries, as much as you say you don't know some of the ministers, amongst the ministries, if you have to weigh on a scale, which do you think impresses you and which do you think does not?
He found a way around that question.
I want to put him on the spot now. You don't have to.
What you have done is a catch-22 situation. I have a right not to answer that question, and I will not answer you.
No, let's hear your assessment.
No, I will not answer.
I will answer.
Okay, answer the question.
All right, and I will speak.
Let me hear you.
Speak to labor and transportation.
Okay.
I thank Minister Amechi for that wonderful railway project. Fantastic. Please, Minister Amechi, we need automation at the railway points, at the payment points. You cannot do such a project, and people have to be writing our names manually. We have to be paying, naira and kobo manually.
In a cashless economy.
I will speak to Labor, Minister Ngige. Thank you very much. You're a medical doctor, but you haven't treated our doctors well. You haven't represented them well. And under your watch, we've lost nurses and doctors to other nations. Right here in this country, our doctors have been recruited to other places and they're earning better. We can do better. I'll stop at those two ministers.
Okay, you have made the point.
Okay.
No, of course. But the point there is she had her opinion and she aired it. I gave her the opportunity to air it. All right, we have to leave you here now because time is no longer.
Here, the president mentioned Lagos-Ibadan Expressway as one of his completed projects.
No, he said it will be completed. All those projects will be completed before 2023.
It's largely uncompleted.
No, but the president said all those projects will be completed before 2023.
The second bridge too.
Yes.
Those are the poster boys of infrastructure.
He assured.
The president is listing his achievements. We will look at it as well.
Yes, it is on the papers. He said the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway as well as the second Niger bridge will be completed before 2023. That was what the president said. Let's wait to hold him by his words at that time.
To him.
Yeah. All right, we have to leave you here now. Funke, Treasure, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right.
Happy International Day of the Girl Child.
Oh yeah, that was yesterday.
Yes.
Isn't that bad? It was yesterday.
We're commemorating the week.
Because I'm just wondering.
Maybe for the month
today.
Oladeinde, thank you so much for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Any day.
Great.